And cute. So I think today's discussion really is going to center around several, I imagine, controversial topics. And our intention with this conversation is to help you realize that things are not black and white. There's a lot of gray matter in between. And I believe that most of us live in that space, which means that there can be more room for love instead of hate in this world.
Yeah, that's the goal, really.
That's pretty much the goal, is to show you. I'm sure that there will come several points where maybe we disagree or we look at certain things in different ways, but we can still understand each other and respect each other's opinion. And at the end of the day, try to come from a point of understanding versus like proving our point, which is the whole point, is let's try to understand each other so that it comes from a place of love versus a place of ego and like I'm right and you're wrong. That's not the intention here.
Yeah.
So let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's kick it.
Where are we starting with?
I'm not afraid.
It's been
Ladies and gents.
it's been a controversial week, that's for sure. So we can rip the Band-Aid off, or we can start slow.
Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I think that's the first topic of conversation.
Elephant
Ladies and
in the
gentlemen,
room.
abortion. Let's go.
Abortion, let's go.
Smush-mortions.
Man. I think there's, at least from my opinion, there's like two different conversations. I feel like both sides are almost arguing against something like completely different. Like I feel like one side is arguing my body, my choice, and the other side is arguing we're not talking about your body, we're talking about the baby. So like I feel like there's like this disconnect where both sides are actually arguing against each other, but they're not even having the same conversation, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, that's under the assumption that both parties are considering it a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I branch off with this topic. It's like the rights being taken away, and then do you think it's a baby? Do you believe it's a baby? Are you viewing it from the perspective that it is a baby?
It's
Yeah,
all
I don't
relative,
know.
right?
Yeah. What comes to mind is what you said earlier. Like, it all depends on. Wait, what was it that you said earlier? What said?
So it depends on who's agreeing.
If you view it as that's what you were saying. Right?
So
if you view it as a baby, you probably aren't on the side of aborting.
So yes.
weird.
So I mean, it's harder for me. I'm a man, So
Yeah.
like yesterday, I was having a long conversation with my wife, and she was agreeing with me, and then she was like, "But it's just tough because you don't get it. You're a man." And
Yeah.
and it wasn't really necessarily that. She wasn't like disagreeing or agreeing. She was just kind of like, it's just tough for women to. What she was trying to say was like, it's tough for women to hear, an opinion on
I get
this
that.
when it comes from a man. And I understand that, but in my opinion, sex is consensual, 99 point whatever amount of the time. You know what I'm saying? Now, so what I like to say in these discussions, at least, right? And this is what I think most people don't know, is that for 99.9% of all of this, these discussions are only happening with recreational abortion, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, no, I highly doubt anyone is disagreeing with abortion when it comes to rape, incest, or medical, complications or whatnot. So I think that's a separate argument, obviously.
Completely.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of the backlash, especially from the left always, how it goes. Oh no, if someone gets raped, what the fuck, and it's like, no, obvious. That's super obvious.
Yeah.
Like, of course. That's, it's not going to make it any easier on the woman. I can't imagine, like, this is also your DNA.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine. I'm not a woman. I wouldn't have to bear a fucking child for 9 months and all this. But one thing I do see is that, like, so I think the whole argument wrapped up is it a child or not?
Yeah.
Because I was debating with one of my friends the other day, and he's like, no, but it's not a child until it's born. And I'm like, okay, that's not a good argument, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could abort the baby the day before. I was born in month 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck,
It's the simple. What I go to is the miscarriage.
So
It's the perception of it. There's women who miscarry at 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 18 weeks, and you can't look at those women and say you never had a baby
of course.
because they mourned that baby, they lost that baby, and that was their perspective of it.
Right.
So are we just looking at it from a different perspective?
That is what it
Yeah,
boils
it's
down
all
to.
perspectives, it's all relative, all of
Right.
it. Because, I mean, even the people that say, no, it's a baby at conception, right? Or whatever. Like, I've tried to really break it down and, like, where does it become a baby? When there's a heartbeat, when there's, like,
Yeah.
the nervous system, or, when does it happen? In my opinion, trying to get down to it as of today, I might change my mind in 5 minutes, but
Yeah, of course.
I think it is conception. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have seen. There's like a video of like a sperm cell and the egg, and when it hits, it creates like this bang, a flash of light.
Yeah.
And they say it's like a zinc deposit or whatnot, but it's whatever the fuck it is. I don't care what science really says. It's fucking amazing. And It's
Yeah.
crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And we don't know. We don't know, and I think that's the whole point. Now I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's pretty fucking insane to say that like, yeah, it's not a baby until it's born. That's just fucking crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And isn't there states where you're allowed to have an abortion up until like 9 months, up until like the day before the due date or some shit like
California.
that? What happened?
No, you're good.
I think that happened last time, but we were good. Like it's gonna keep recording, yeah. Just leave it. But yeah, I know that they're like,
So Cali, I think there's even a law in place. Well, I don't know if it got passed, but I know they like presented it.
yeah,
Of that for like the first month, if your baby dies spontaneously or whatever, they won't even investigate it. So basically, that's like allowing people to murder their fucking children. It's like
that's a
that's a
little
whole separate.
extreme.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we could probably all agree that like Cali is too crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, up to birth, like that's just fucked up. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and it goes to like your
Birth is-
argument of like the preemies. Like I know people that were born a month early, 2 months. I know a really close family friend who has twins that they were born at like 5 months or
Me
something
too.
like that.
Me too. I have a set of twins.
So like how?
and they're perfectly healthy. I'll show you a picture of them
Yeah.
right now. They look like fucking monsters. It's
So it's
crazy.
like how do you determine?
So then, if that's the case, right? So
let's say that it is. Let's say that it is from conception. Here's like where my where I get torn, where I get caught up, is let's say it wasn't a rape. Like let's say it was a woman who can afford to have a baby. She's maybe in her 30s. Like nothing like on paper should look like she shouldn't have a baby, but like she doesn't fucking want a baby, and she's just gonna be a horrible mom and inflict all this suffering onto this child. So at which point are you like, yeah, you're forced to have the baby, bitch, whether you want it or not? Like it's almost like we're selfishly wanting to bring this life into the world under the like assumption that they're gonna live a good life, or they're gonna like, yes, and I can see how we all have our right to live, and I see that like to be brought into the world for suffering seems cruel. If you're not like, if you're not gonna commit to
Yeah,
your
I get
being,
that.
like,
But to me, like I think
That's
more
fucks me
about
up.
like the actual problem at hand is like, why are so many women who don't want babies getting pregnant?
yeah.
That's
That's the
really what it
ultimate-
comes down to for me is like why, and then you have to look at like the culture and the
Yeah.
sexualization and all these agendas at play where sex is such a huge part of our society and it's become this like loose thing that you just do and fuck it. If I know a lot of women that have the mentality like fuck it, if I get pregnant I'll just have an abortion.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I don't know, I think that mentality needs to shift more towards like just responsibility. At the end of the day, like it's not, we know that if you have sex unprotected, there's a possibility that you're gonna get pregnant.
yeah.
So
Well,
like
it's literally what it's for.
how, right,
You know what I
that's
mean?
like
So-
literally the intention of having sex is to procreate.
So that's my thing. Like my thing is, if you're looking at it in a biological sense, for biology as humans, you are at all times either trying to survive or reproduce, or both. Like either
Right.
or.
Yeah.
So if we have, it's like you have a privilege, right, of driving a car. I have the privilege. I took my test. I passed the test. I can drive a car. Now, if I crashed into someone and I killed someone, I go to jail. I got to pay this consequence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have the privilege of having sex with whoever we want.
Absolutely.
But now there's a huge responsibility that comes with sex, which is bearing a child. And if that happens, you know, if I were to start a society, I'm not talking about where we're at today.
Yeah.
Because where we're at today, you could clearly see what's happening, and women are so mad. I saw a stat the other day that says the majority of people that were pro-choice have never had an abortion. The majority of people that are pro-life have had an abortion.
That's interesting.
That's a fucking crazy stat.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. We can interpret it in many different ways, but I just believe in accountability for society in itself. You
Yeah,
know, like
absolutely.
I go by how I'm trying to raise my children and how I think if I was just born today with, you know, specific guidance, I would probably, you know, implement this to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
So, if this, then that, you know, cause and effect. If you have sex unprotected, because there's so many other options.
That's the
there's
thing,
so
too.
many. I don't know one person that's gotten someone pregnant using a condom, and I know it could happen. I'm not saying it can't. I know it could. Look, I know people that always say, "Oh, pre-com and all that shit." Yes, of course, but you're not wearing a condom. You know what I mean? Like that's like you're playing the pull-out game and you're trying to fucking great, but you're still playing with fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it's just difficult from where we're at today, when Cardi B, fucking wet ass pussy,
The
and
culture, man.
all of this fucked up culture, you know, when they're telling you like, hey, go have drinks, party, have fun, hey, fuck whoever you want.
Be promiscuous, and I feel like that's been the message lately for women too. It's like own your sexuality, and that's great.
Slut
you know?
walks and shit, you know what I mean?
I think it's a form of,
It can
they're
be.
trying to empower women because men have traditionally, like, men don't get shit for being promiscuous.
Absolutely.
And, like, nobody's telling men, like, hey,
And that's a
keep
whole
it in your
other
pants so you
problem.
don't impregnate women, but they're telling women to keep it, like,
Absolutely.
So how
It's
is
fucked
that
up.
fair?
It's not.
No, it's not fair.
It's not. It's
100%
not fair.
it's not.
But I think it's like the message isn't like, you know, you can't be sexual and you can't go do whatever the fuck you want. Like get as freaky as you want, do whatever you want, but just understand that those actions have consequences. And I think that's where the solutions come, is like eliminating the amount of women who don't want kids getting pregnant.
I think ultimately in a society, what we would want, at least, ultimately, I'm not saying tomorrow because this is very far-fetched,
Yeah.
but we would want a society where it's very rare to have an abortion, I would assume.
Yeah.
Abortion is taxing on the mind, it's taxing on the body.
I don't want anyone to go through that.
I know men that are traumatized because of abortions. So I don't agree that men have enough accountability in this area at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
I know that 100%, and we see that in lower income
Yeah.
communities and shit like that. Now, they try to implement it with like child support. You know, okay, whatever, you gotta pay me for 18 years. Cool, yeah, it fucks over the man, but it doesn't do better for the child.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Like,
and
well-
at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but everybody that I've ever heard in a child support situation is, like, royally fucked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
of
it's,
course.
it's never say never. There are
Yeah.
certain cases that people get compensated accordingly, but,
Oh, I
like,
know
usually
some
moms are
people.
struggling.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's like-
But it's not even the money thing. It's like we shouldn't be. First of all, I think as a society we should. You know, I'm not religious, but I do think that religion has one thing right, and it's, you know, picking one person. You know what I mean, to live this life with. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's fine. But we're trying to like live somewhat disciplined, and then we raise. If people saw the value of family alone, of a strong, supportive family, you can look at the stats. You know, broken homes, you're 4 times more likely to become poor.
Yeah.
You know, the crime rates, and it's ridiculous. All the stats, right? We could
Yeah.
just go by stats alone, and it's very obvious that broken homes fuck kids up.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Clearly.
Absolutely.
So, if we were to value, or at least show kids the value of family and tightness, you know what I mean?
Right.
We would have a whole different society. But that's not what we're living in. We're
Yeah.
living in, yo, shake your ass all day because you're gonna get 1 million likes, and you could get sponsors, and you could get money and OnlyFans and da-da-da. And girls are doing this from little kids. And guys are out there fucking acting like idiots. They don't know who the fuck they are because they're trying to get ass. And it's weird.
And the whole
it's
porn culture, like,
But that was instilled in our society.
It was.
Now, yes, we were savages back in the day, say like
Yeah.
the Old Testament days and all that bullshit, if it's true or whatnot, that we're savage, right?
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
barbaric.
Right.
But we're in a very civilized time in you know, in the
modern
universe.
Yeah. Civilized it gets.
As it can possibly get, right? So then why are we still acting a fool? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we know how fucked up this leaves people, when just look at women, like especially like whores. I'm sorry to say that, but like the whores, they might act, whatever. They're fucking miserable. I could guarantee you.
Yeah,
Guys that are out here chasing bitches all day, I could guarantee you they're fucking miserable too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not working out. So, but why is this happening? It could be somewhat instinct or whatever, you know, nature, somewhat. But I think the majority of it is obviously marketing and, you know, fucking brainwashing and propaganda.
Yep.
So we know that there's studies, case studies on this, but Coca-Cola, all kind of different companies, even in the 40s and 50s, were using subconscious, subliminal marketing with like images of, you know, sex-related shit.
Yeah. We've
And
all seen the Disney.
Why are they doing that?
Freaking plethora of subliminal messages.
So we've always asked, why are they doing this, right?
Yeah.
But now we somewhat know, you know, with the studies. You could be looking at a can of Coke or a vending machine. I saw this one. And it's ice cubes that look like fucking a naked chick or whatever. You have no idea that that's in there.
Yeah.
But your subconscious mind does pick up on it somehow. So even though your conscious mind is like, oh, should I get a drink or whatever, your subconscious mind or your body is having a chemical reaction that is making you more susceptible to buying. It's making you thirstier. It's literally like there's so many things happening here. It makes you irrational spending. So people figured this out and they were like, oh, fuck these people. We're going to throw sex in everything. And then these people are going to just throw their money at us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very easy.
Yep.
And you stir the pot. What is business? Is solving a problem. So then you want more problems. If you have casual sex everywhere, you have fucking tons of problems.
Yeah.
You can sell condoms, you can sell, you know,
lube,
you can sell every fucking thing you want. You can sell abortions.
Yeah.
You can sell a whole lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then now we're trying to like, hey guys, no, like we need to stop this because it's not good for our society. But it's like, it wasn't us that did this shit. You know what I mean? So now we're fighting each other of like, oh no, it's my right. Oh no, like it's wrong. Or whatever the case. But it's like somebody injected this shit into our culture and is looking at us laughing.
Yeah.
We're like an ant farm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you want to go even further than that, I'm going to finish my rant.
Yeah.
But this all started coincidentally right when the World Population Plan of Action was written by the United Nations. They determined that we're reproducing at a ridiculous rate.
Yep.
Back then we had an average of 5 children per home. Now we have halved that in 50 years. We're at 22 and a half children. So something happened here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happened here? Oh, coincidentally?
22 and a half children per home?
No, 2.5.
From
It used to be 5.
2.5.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm
So then, coincidentally, this was written in 1973, or 74, I'm sorry. Roe v. Wade was implemented 73. Coincidentally. Is that a coincidence? It might be, you know?
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Then Kissinger, which was, I forgot what his role in the government is. He was under Nixon. He's like a big dog, you know, United Nations and New World Order. You know, basically he has a book called World Order. Like, this is the guy. He wrote a plan of action to implement this. You know, what are we going to do with this information that we got? Low developed countries, lower income communities, urban populations are reproducing at ridiculous rates.
Yeah.
And the rural areas are not reproducing that fast. Why? Because they're busy working, they're busy doing shit. You know, they're more responsible, all these things. When the lower incomes communities and lower developed countries and all these things are fucking bored and they're fucking and they're more primitive, you know? So now this is a separate debate. This is the real debate. If people want to have a real debate about this, I feel like this is where it is. You know what I'm saying? If we want to talk about population, that's a whole nother level. Maybe we should allow fucking, you know, abortion.
Yeah.
Now, if we're, and I'm not saying like we shouldn't allow it at all or none of that.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's the bigger debate, you know, because when you're looking at a bigger picture, that shit might be fucking necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
maybe.
I think I'm not a woman, like I always say.
For resources, right?
For resources, so that's the whole idea that, you know, the lower incomes are
this
sucking all the
plan was in
resources.
effect. That's why it came to be in 1973.
And literally, number one was empower women push abortion, incentivize vasectomies and abortion.
Yeah.
They literally tried this out. They were paying people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
18-year-old
talk about.
Indian kids. They were giving them fucking $20, $100 to get a vasectomy.
Yeah,
You're 18 fucking years old.
it's crazy. Even in modern day, you have corporations that are incentivized for you to get an abortion because
Exactly.
maternity leave is going to cost them way fucking more.
I will say though, I don't feel like I see as much propaganda in the U.S. At least from what I've seen. Like I see a lot more abortion talk than vasectomy talk.
Because
Of course,
abortion
of
gets
course.
more attention, abortion gets more division, abortion gets more
course.
of what you're seeing now.
Because it seems more like a right. So vasectomy would be. So I saw one of my guys. He's a hardcore Republican though. So this is a separate perspective. He was like, "Yeah, I hear the vasectomy talk, but how about everyone gets one abortion, and when you get that one abortion, you got to get your tubes tied." And it's like, fuck, that's brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, the way I see it is like, look, if me and my wife, for instance, we just got together, we had unprotected sex, she was with it, 50% permission, 50% on my end. This wasn't anything else other than that. It was completely consensual, me and her, we agreed to this. She knew I wasn't using protection. I know whatever comes after this. I get her pregnant, we're both in on this.
Yeah.
You can't tell me now that it was my problem, it was my fault, but now I understand the woman has to bear this child.
Of course. Yeah.
So that's, but
And it
if-
is her body that has to bear the child. So
exactly.
I
But
understand.
if she would have come to me and say, "Hey, look, I'm pregnant," and I'm like, "Fuck that, I don't want the kid." She's like, "All right, well, you know what? I do. So you got to pay me for 18 fucking years of your life." And I'm like, "Yo, I don't want this child. I'm not ready for it." She's like, "Oh yeah, well, you fucking didn't want to wear protection. Well, you got to pay 18 years." But now look at this scenario. Now she comes, she's like, "I'm pregnant," and I'm like, "Damn, all right, awesome. I want the baby." She's like, "No, I'm fucking aborting this baby." And I'm like,
And
"No,
that
you're not.
happens.
I want this baby."
Yeah.
What the fuck? We got into this together. You knew what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, come on.
I want this baby. She could go and kill that baby, and I have no say.
Yeah, that's pretty.
This is an unspoken thing. I haven't even heard this once.
Yeah, it's
That's fucked up. I know. I have a friend of mine that this happened to him in high school, and this guy's still traumatized from it. And he wasn't ready. He admits it. I wasn't ready. I don't want a child with her, but just the
knowing.
thought of that's my DNA.
Yeah.
And she just murdered that baby.
Yeah.
That is fucking horrible. You know what I mean? And it's tough because this takes two people. So like I do understand oh no, it's a guy, you can't say this shit. You get me?
Yeah.
I understand it.
Like,
But it's
even
like
hearing
I feel like
you
I
say it,
understand
I'm
a lot
like,
of it.
it's tough.
hard
It's
to hear.
cringy. I could
I'm like,
imagine,
yeah,
you
so
know?
what if his DNA was in it? Like as a woman, I'm like, okay, and
But it's
hello?
true. It's a part of the
Like,
conversation that doesn't
course.
really get talked about. Like it
Yeah.
is. It's still
I'm
half like.
It's tough. Of course it is. And
But
I
when the
completely-
baby's born, he's expected to take on half the responsibility.
Exactly.
You
But
know.
that doesn't. I don't know, man.
No, it doesn't always
I feel
happen.
you, though.
And I'm
It
like,
doesn't
yeah,
always
you-
happen.
No,
Men stay
of
here and
course
say,
not.
yeah, then you hit me with 18 years of child support, and then they're like, no, I don't make any money, and then have to pay shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it
I
goes-
don't know
it's so
because of, like,
situational.
personal
No, that does happen.
But
That
like I
does
even know
happen.
about men who have good jobs and they're well off and they get away with not paying
Yeah.
shit.
No,
Yeah,
there
it's
is.
It's super. It's
But then
just-
there's
that
also
goes
the
into a corrupt
scenarios.
system and
That's
whatever.
yeah.
Then there's also the
It's
scenarios
situational
that the
shit.
men pay it and the woman goes and does something else. So there's always
so
like
many
the
different-
weird
there's so many
situations, you know?
But I think the broad whole thing comes back down to like what I think is the problem, and I think too many
Accountability.
women that don't want fucking kids are having babies. So how do you? Because you spoke to like the woman who has the money and she could have a kid, she just doesn't want one, and it's like, okay, why are you getting pregnant in the first place?
Obviously, it was a mistake, right? Like, I don't
But
think that
how,
women. that
I think there are
want
certain
children.
there
But
are.
she
I
could've
feel
won
like there are very
protection.
small.
But she did it because it
instances.
feels better, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
and,
we
and I
can't-
get
we
it.
can't-
I get it. Trust me. I've been an irresponsible motherfucker and like
Yeah, of
I get it.
course.
Trust me, we all get this. Not like being super like because I get it. We all fuck up. here,
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
bro, absolutely.
And there is room for error. You
Yeah,
know, there
yeah.
should be some kind of room for error.
That's why.
Now, there's also plan B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many. That's my thing. My thing
yeah.
is that there's so many outlets. All right, look, you got drunk one day, you didn't wear a fucking condom. The condom breaks. Forget about all of that. Let's just say straight to like, a rare instant.
A little hole in the condom. You don't
Hole
even
in
know.
the condom, boom.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because then you won't even take the plan B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what percentage is that?
That's what I'm-
There's
that's-
a million abortions a year in the U.S.
Yeah.
1 million.
It's crazy.
there is less than 1% that are raped and incest.
It's
and
less
all
than
of
1%.
that, you know?
And that's like
from what I've heard. We don't know the real stats.
And like
you
that
know,
needs to be
course.
said. I don't know if it was already said, but like we're not talking about that at all.
No,
Like,
that's out of the question.
absolutely not. I think my opinion is just that it needs to be. I'm in the camp that I do believe that it is a baby. I believe it's a life. That's just my opinion, and I believe that women should have the right to have access to safe medical procedures, and this is a medical procedure. I just think there needs to be more regulation behind it. There needs to be more education. There needs to be more talking to kids at a young age and explaining these things. Like the problem is too many women who don't want babies are getting pregnant, and it's just like this loose idea that you can just have an abortion, and it's. I don't want anyone to go through that. How horrible! I've luckily never had to go through that, but I know a lot of women that have, and I can't imagine having to go through something like that.
No,
like,
no,
why?
traumatic.
Like, let's reduce the amount of women that are having to. Like, what are we even fighting for? Like, yay! Let's go through this horrible traumatic experience. No, let's talk about the issue. Why are
They're viewing it as traumatic.
that's fair? And then it's like the
Well,
whole like
remember
getting your
trauma's in the perception
getting
of the
your-
event,
It
not
is.
the event itself.
right, and the idea of getting your rights taken away is horrible. And I'm definitely not. I'm the first person to stand up and say like, my body, my choice, right? And it's which comes us to an interesting point in this conversation is like, how are you in the camp of pro-choice, but you are also pro-vaccine mandate?
Yeah.
That does not make any sense to me.
Well, I could give you that argument.
How?
The greater good.
The greater good.
For the greater good.
The vaccine?
Yeah.
I guess that is what they think, you know, but
But we've already seen that that's not true.
yeah, especially that. Well, not them. Is that what you said?
Huh?
You said not them?
No, I said how so.
Oh, I thought you said not them. I was like, that's far.
No,
but,
because-
but it's true though. They're not seeing that. They're not even seeing the,
Right.
the adverse reactions. And all that. Now,
Yeah.
the
But
greater
this is-
good is, and I think that's what the Republicans are trying to say with abortion. It's the greater good, and I think that
Or are they
the-
making that claim? No,
It's the
so
same, like,
they're
I
saying
don't-
the
I
greater
would
good.
assume, you know, that's
Isn't
what,
it interesting how it's like the same
it's the same argument
shit
on both sides.
So it's
Now, I think what nobody
So
is
divisive.
cares about is everybody wants their team to win, which is why I heard Will Rouge talking about it today with some other dude. I don't know who he was. And it's like, there is a silent majority.
for sure.
And then I think Will said silenced majority.
Ooh.
And it's something that no one talks about. You turn on the TV. I just for fucking shits and giggles, every day I put on CNN, the next day I put on Fox. And I sit here and I just fucking laugh. My clients come in, they're like, what the fuck, you're watching CNN? And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's like entertainment. for
Yeah,
me, you know?
it is. It's a
But
form
once
of
you see
entertainment.
the fucking hypocrisy, like I saw some guy, and like we were talking about it yesterday, and I see this fucking dickhead on Fox yesterday, and he's just like laughing, whoa, 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 and they were showing like this stupid ass fucking news segment, and I'm like, bro, they're burning down food fucking plants, and there's a cure for cancer that was 100% effective
I
in
saw the
studies,
trial, yeah.
and all of this shit, and this fucking dickhead is laughing, ho ho, the Democrats, ha ha, and it's like,
Yeah.
yo, this is
That's
what
another
we're
thing.
doing right now.
It's a distraction.
But
too.
all it is, it's my team against your team.
Yeah.
You know? But nobody gives a fuck about the actual players
Yeah.
or the audience
The whole-
or the whole thing, the
the
whole stadium.
Like at the end of the day, we're on the same team.
It's about, hey, if I'm watching football and,
Are we?
you know what I'm saying, and there's a game going on,
No, I know.
it's not fun when my team is just whooping your team's ass.
No, it's
That's
wild.
not even fun. And yeah, you see people like, yeah, haha, talking all that shit. But it's not fun for the love of football.
no.
The love of football, you want a fucking badass game.
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
that shit to come down to the last
Any
second.
sports game, you
Same
want
thing
that
with
shit to be-
society. It's not about your team winning. It's about what's going to be the best for the love of society itself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So in this argument or discussion, I would assume, or I would say that we need to see what's best for these women that
Yeah.
are going through this.
Absolutely.
Men as well, some. Also the children. You know what I mean? Like the children that are growing up now. How many children in a car right now and their mom is on the phone like, yeah,
Bitching
fuck
about
that, what the
abortion.
fuck, we can't have abortions, what the fuck, you're not gonna let me have an abortion. The kid is like, oh, okay, I guess this is like what we're supposed to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the other way, like, oh, fuck these idiot liberals, you know, whatever. And they're like, all right, fuck these idiots, you know?
Yeah.
And like,
it's just more division. More
it's
division,
not
more
working,
division.
bro.
It's not.
None of this shit is working. Even the Republicans that took, in my opinion, I agree with Republicans most of the time, probably. A lot of times. But I still see the hypocrisy. I still, would never identify
And
as
it's definitely
that.
not the extreme side of it.
No, fuck
Yeah.
no. I'm talking about,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
center right, you know?
Yeah.
Because for the last 5-10 years, we've seen, you know, the fucking extreme shit on the left, and it kind of almost pushes you towards the right, which I've noticed in 90% of the people I encounter. Yeah, everybody was left.
Yeah,
you know, we were mostly left. Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking, you know, legal weed and all these things, and the actual definition of liberalism, it's not that anymore. It's literally like a fucking Twilight Zone. Yeah, it's the complete opposite. So, and the right, it has their own shit too, because now they're sitting there like, oh, I was right, haha, and laughing at everybody. It's like, that's not going to work either. Yeah. You know, the only way you could get somebody on your side is with love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not going to do it by beating their fucking ass. Yeah. It's like a parent. You know this. If you tell your kid, oh, nah, fuck, you're wrong, ah, ha, ha, whatever, and you, boom, they're just going to go into a little shell. Yeah. They're going to resent you, and they're never going to be able to speak to you, and they're not going to know how to speak to themselves. They're not going to know how to express themselves. Yeah. Yeah. But, and they're going to rebel. You know what I'm saying? But if you come and you're like, hey, look, you fucked up. All right, come on. Come over here. What's up? Why'd you fuck up? Let's talk about it. What's going on? I love you. I still love you. You fucked up and I love you. You know what I'm saying? You hug. That's when it's like, oh fuck, I'm comfortable now. I could be myself. I could fuck up. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sense of safety.
What's the difference? Why are we treating this any different? Why are we all like, nah, you,
emotions.
And everybody's like fighting each other. It's like none of you guys give a fuck about society.
It's all emotions. Everyone's so emotional about everything.
But nobody cares about society. And it's like,
really like, not that nobody. I feel like a lot of people are so caught up in their emotions that it's like they cannot rationally even like there's a rational piece that it's hard for them to be rational, and I feel like when you're emotional, at least from like being in a human state, right? I'm emotional, I'm feeling like the energy in my body, and so I'm thinking thoughts, and like you're saying something, but it's triggering me, so I'm already thinking about my counter argument. I'm not thinking about what you're saying, or I'm not trying to understand.
Or to try and be open-minded.
Back to that of like this emotional state is driving you, kind of like funny enough, Auntie, we love you. Like what our therapist says, it's like your state is what predicts your story. So your story follows your state. If your state is like physiologically out of place, so you're triggered by something, anger, oh my god, my stomach, I'm like sweating, like my armpits, like
you physically feel it, physiologically,
like physical symptoms that then influence your story. Like, damn, I'm heated, and this motherfucker's really trying me right now. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let me think of all the things points I want to make. I'm not even listening to you. Yeah. And it's crazy our ability to be able to
block it.
Not even
hear it. You're not even.
That really comes down to it. It's like I feel like that's at the very core of even starting like family work, which is what I'm doing now. Is like, how do we practice active listening skills?
Bro, that should be taught in school. And we could break all this back down to school.
It starts at the education.
Bro, they need people like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But like, you never see this. I know tons of people that work in fucking schools and shit. I don't know anybody that's taken it this far, and this is not even that far.
Yeah, it's really
not that far. It's so fucking simple, but nobody gives a fuck, man. And everybody cares. Oh, it's a daycare. Hey, look, man, I can't fucking handle my kids. Yo, you can hold them for 8 hours a day. Fuck it, thank God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to work and make some bread. And I get the way our society is structured. I get this is how it is. It's just the way it is. Now, evolution is improving problems, right? It's solutions. Evolution is solutions. So now, just like my theory about like why everything seems so chaotic, because we're evolving so much faster that we're just seeing all the problems. That's all it is. So it's like all of these things are getting solved little by little. Look at all the fucked up shit that's happening. And it just fucked up because when I speak, I always feel like I'm bullying the liberals, you know what I mean? And I'm not. I'm speaking as a parent. That's and it's hard. It's hard to, side with them on any of these parental, discussions. It's very hard for me, all of this shit that's happening in schools, oh look, it got that fucked up. It did. There was fucking kids that were going to school having fucking story time with fucking drag queens everywhere and like going to drag shows that had signs that said it's gonna lick itself, and
convicted drag queens that had child porn on their fucking laptop.
All of that shit did have to happen for us to all be like, whoa, what the fuck, bro? 90% of us, I can guarantee you, left or right, if you could see beyond your tribalism of wanting your team to win, 90% of people would be like, yo, that's fucking crazy. I'm sorry to say that's fucking insane.
I mean, there's no talk of sex should be had with a child prior to.
Bro.
Coming from a child behavior specialist.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whether
That's-
you're gay or straight or trans or
Doesn't matter.
whatever the fuck
That
you
has
identify
nothing
as.
to do with it, which is even crazier. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with it? You know what I'm saying?
And all of this is development, and it
Yeah.
goes back to your point of like, let's inject this information into our society so that we can start literally getting them to be sexualized early on.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Create more
And that
chaos.
goes back to the solution that we talked about with like the whole abortion is like, let's inject more information. I don't think rights should be taken away, and if a woman needs a medical procedure,
Oh, 100%.
she should have access to it, because
Of
banning
course.
it is just going to cause illegal. People are still going to get abortions just
No,
illegally.
that's-
That's
and it's
insane.
I just wanna make
If
a
they were to
point.
reject someone that got raped by their fucking uncle
That's-
to
yeah.
have an abortion, like, bro, what the fuck are we living in? That's
yeah.
that
Insane.
shouldn't even be a discussion, you know. And I don't really think it is anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the way that people are taking it. Like,
Right.
This is not an.
Like,
I don't think so. At least I haven't seen it. I'm not saying
Yeah,
because
yeah.
who knows? There's some psychopaths out there.
Yeah.
But yo, if the woman is about to fucking die,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you fucking serious? Like, that's not even a debate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know that it is a debate in some rooms. I don't know how
Bro,
we're not
that's-
on the same page
that's
with like
crazy, bro.
the medical conditions or rape or
Incest.
yeah all
Or
the,
even like, spina bifida and, things like that.
yeah,
It's
there's
tough.
so many situational reasons for you to need to get an abortion, and you should have access to
You
it.
should be able to choose that.
It's just like, can we all be in agreement that like nobody wants to actually have an abortion? So that's like reduce.
But some people do.
But,
That's the
yeah.
fucked up part.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you should.
I'd
So
rather
that's
have an
what I
abortion than
think.
have a baby. Like,
I think
that's of
society
course.
should
I
be
know,
at a
but
point
that's
that
not what
people
I'm talking
shouldn't
about.
want an abortion. Like women
Yeah.
should never. I don't think, at least I'm
I
not
would
a
never
woman,
want to go
so
through
this
that.
is what's
I would
tough.
never want to go through that.
I don't think a woman should ever want one. Like, I don't want my daughter to ever want an abortion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but
I
this is-
understand wanting the right to have one, but that's different.
That
Than
is
like
completely
actually
different.
wanting abortion.
Of course. So my obligation in
No.
society, I think, is to teach my daughter, like, look, she's gonna come up to me one day and ask me, Dad, what is sex? And I'm like, oh fuck, what did they teach us? What did they teach us? They taught us, hey, look, nah, bro, it's some shit for adults. Don't fucking talk about that. And we're like, oh, okay, all right. That shit must be fire, bro. What the fuck? What, only adults could do it? Damn, I don't know. Your mind starts going crazy. You get me? Now you're like, hey, what's sex? And now you get an interpretation. You get your core belief from another little fucking 6, 7, 10-year-old.
That's why.
That doesn't know fucking shit either.
Yeah.
That maybe saw a Bad Bunny fucking video and saw bitches shaking their ass, or
Yeah.
women, I'm sorry. But they're probably not women, They got an interpretation with no guidance. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
That we grew up, I've been listening to Eminem a lot lately. And I'm like, bro, I was fucking listening to this at 10 years old.
Same, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with my parents? Didn't know that.
Yeah, I was
of
doing it
course
behind
not. They
my mom's
didn't.
back,
They
but I
didn't know
still
that
did
that
it.
you know
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
happening. But my point is that like
Now parents
now
know.
we're a little more like aware of like, oh fuck, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not good for my kid. Neither is all of this shit that's happening in society.
Yeah.
Now, even Disney movies, I always had a problem with Disney movies. At the end of the movie, it's a prince that has to kiss the girl and all this shit. And it's like, okay, so what? Now my daughter's gonna be sitting there waiting for a prince to come and save her? Fuck that shit, bro.
Yeah.
No, don't sexualize that shit. Whether it's straight, gay, trans,
Doesn't matter.
asexual, I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I don't want no kind of sex in my kids' fucking movies. It's made for a 3-year-old, bro. We're not talking about for a 15-year-old. You're talking about for a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
You are insane.
Yeah.
And we're running around Disney with fucking ears and like, yo, fuck these people, bro. These people are evil motherfuckers,
Yeah.
you know? And I do it. I go to Disney because my kids ask me to go to fucking Disney.
It's hard, man.
But I don't show them these movies. I try not to, you know what I mean? So, a kid with sex. Then they get this interpretation, then it's like, oh fuck, a little boy is like, yo, I just gotta chase bitches, I gotta get sex, sex.
Yeah.
You're like a little monkey, right? A little dog. Now women is like, oh no, I get attention from a masculine energy. Most people that have like, dad issues and all this shit, now you're craving this attention from another fucking loser. And then you get, you do something irrational because society pushed you into this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blaming this on the women. It's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
It is happening because of something way greater.
That's my whole
Which
thing.
is the fucked up part. And then
Yep.
they gotta suffer and they don't even know that they're fucking suffering.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean, like going back to like the not want, like I understand like having the right and wanting the right. I'm just saying like what's the craze of like wanting an abortion?
Yeah,
you know,
you
like
said I wouldn't. That nobody wants an abortion.
no. I'm not saying nobody want. Like I mean like the procedure having to go through something like that.
The way I see it,
I'm talking more of like
it's like a risk.
let's just eliminate you even having to go through that though. Like let's get better at having protected sex so that doesn't happen.
Oh no, that's another conversation.
That's a completely different.
No, but we're
That's a
trying to
completely
skip
different
over that.
conversation.
We're trying to fix
I'm
it
trying
from
to
the
put-
root
yeah,
rather than
yeah.
put the band-aid on it. You know what
I
I mean?
agree with you there. Like
Because the band-aid hurts when you rip it off. You know what I'm saying? But if you fix it at the root that you just don't get cut, like that's a better
facts.
solution. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like me telling you like, hey, eat fucking drink whatever you want. Eat McDonald's all day long. Because you know what? You could become 400 pounds. You just get fucking liposuction. Who cares? You might risk your life.
Yeah.
You might get diabetes. You might get a lot of
That's
fucked
the
up
other
shit.
thing.
But you get liposuction, it's all good. You look
Yeah.
better. You know,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
It's that's the way I view
You might be emotionally
the people that are
traumatized.
pushing abortion. I'm not
Right.
saying the people that get it. Almost every person I love in this world has had an abortion.
Yeah.
Literally, almost everyone I love has had a fucking abortion. And it's like, I understand.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
For
But it's
sure.
not because it was right. It's because of society.
Yeah.
So if we're in a position today to change this, somehow all come to an agreement of like, this is not what we want women to have to go through.
Nah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? And
Like-
men have to figure out some shit too. We have to
Yeah,
change
yeah.
this.
It's
Like
not
if
all-
I had
it's
sons,
not
I would
all
have to
women.
train them too.
It's not even
Of
on.
course,
Yeah. It's not on the.
of
It's on
course.
society. It's on.
It's not
society
even
as a whole.
men or women.
No.
You know what I
it's
mean?
as a whole.
It's as a whole.
And that's
we
what I
gotta
meant when I was saying like just cutting it before it even gets to that. Like
Fix it from the
eliminating
root, man.
You
know
having
what
to
I'm
go
saying?
through that, like what he was saying with the liposuction. It's like you're gonna be emotionally traumatized. You already know you have complications with abortion. It's harder to get pregnant, depending on how
And I
late.
don't think that people speak it, like, I don't think that that's portrayed enough.
No.
Which I will argue is like the after effects, like you may not, perhaps it's in that form that you sign when you're in that clinic, but you're not reading that fucking form when you're in the
course.
clinic.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
like,
It's
well,
like-
what the fuck?
Of course.
Like let's
Of course.
eliminate you even having to like be in
Right?
that
And so you
position.
don't really know. It's crazy because, I mean, whatever. I'll talk about it. I've had an abortion, so it's like being in that space. Of course, you're like there's so much like you're not reading the form. You're just like get me
you're
out
freaking
of here.
out.
I just want to get this out of me. I don't want
You're
to
like
do
you
this. I
said.
want to pretend like this never fucking happened.
You're in a
It's
state.
fine.
You're in an emotional state.
You're in a state, so you're not like consuming any information. Now, looking back, being 31, I'm like, well, I know for a fucking fact I wasn't thinking about like my organs and my internal system, like
Of course not.
my reproductive system and how I might not be able to have babies later, like all of these factors that could certainly influence you later.
Of course.
But you're in such a state of like,
Fear.
that's why I'm like, that's really what it comes
You're
to.
terrified.
It's like
Of
you're
course.
scared.
But why?
And I
Because the
understand that.
society does this, and then it sits back and it's like, all right, fuck it, figure it out. You know, it's like then the actual people, the ants in the ant farm, are the ones that have to deal with the suffering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all the fuck and everything else, and the people up top are laughing at us, bro. These people, that's the thing, that people think that their team is rooting for them. It's not fucking rooting for you, bro. These motherfuckers don't care.
Yeah.
But there is people like us, somewhere, the silenced majority, that actually cares about the actual people going through this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the women that are actually having these abortions and like imagining what they're going through and
Oh my god.
just
that's
wanting that
fucking
to not
terrible.
be a thing. Like,
There's this other
but
flip
still
side of
having
that.
the option, like if it's
There
necessary.
is, yeah,
again,
there's a
like-
flip side of that of like, okay, I may not had all of that information and it may have been traumatic and it may have sucked and now I'm
course.
looking back and okay, all of that, that's one side. But then there's this other side that I look back, I think back to old me and I'm like, I'm really fucking grateful that I had the option to do that.
Of course.
Because I have a 15-year-old right now.
Of
And
course.
that would be really fucking hard.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that I made that choice for my future self. And if
Yeah.
I had not had that choice, that's what gets me emotional too.
Oh,
Of
for
course.
sure, for
So
sure.
it's like-
it's the you having to make that choice in the first place. It's like,
But the problem is that
Yeah,
society
but
even
you wanna
got
have
you
that
there.
choice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It wasn't your
no,
fault.
but-
You were a young girl
Yeah.
that got mind fucked by society. That's the way I like to put it.
Yeah.
If we could switch that up as of today,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It would change the direction of everything. You know what I'm saying? So like I heard, I can't remember who, and it's like, yes, of course we should allow it, you know, to a certain extent, but safe and rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
like
shouldn't be like, bro, there's 30-year-old women right now, there's 40-year-old women that are literally out there sleeping with everybody. You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, fuck it, I just get an abortion. Who cares?
Yeah, that's like the mentality.
That is
that's
absurd.
I think
you know
that's
what I mean?
dangerous. I don't think it needs to be that
No,
way.
I know, and it sucks. Like as a woman, it sucks. Like hearing that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But then I'm like, it's not fair that guys get to go sleep around. And like,
No, but they shouldn't either.
But they shouldn't either.
But the woman holds the
it-
key. My
Yeah.
wife has always told me that shit. I hold the fucking key. And I always laugh for her. I'm like, yeah, whatever, but it's the fucking truth.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because this is where, and it sounds fucked up because I'm a man. I know this is fucked up, but I always tell her that. I'm like, the right lies in opening or closing your legs. You know what I'm saying? You have the key. You can say no, motherfucker. Sorry, bye.
Right.
Sit back and say peace.
And
And,
again,
I get it's not that easy.
in
Of course
consensual
not.
cases.
Of course.
I just
of
want to be
course.
clear because
No, of course, you know. We can talk about other sick fucks out there.
Yeah.
These are separate issues that we also have to help
absolutely.
raising little boys. You know what I'm saying? That
But
I
then
have
those little
girls.
boys are glorified to go and sleep with all the
Exactly.
women.
But
And
that's
the problem.
society.
Women that they need to close
And
their
that's
legs.
exactly
But
what.
these are the problems
But
that
that's
we
exactly
need
what
to
we're talking
look.
about.
If me that is actually speaking this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had boys, I would at least attempt, or I would try my hardest to raise them in a way that they would never put a girl in that type of predicament. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same way I'm trying to raise my daughters in a way that they are not in a predicament that they get fucked over and they do something irrational and
It's
at one
equal-
point because they get pushed or whatever the case or society drives them in down a certain path, and it's like I'm trying my hardest, you know.
Yeah.
But if all of us fucking as a collective were to do this, we would probably, this would be a lot more rare.
It's
That's
equal,
my point.
Equal responsibility on both ends. It's
No,
not just
100%. There has to
the
be.
woman has to close. It's not just on the woman. That's
No, fuck
absurd.
no.
There needs to be more conversation about men and how men are pretty much portrayed in society and what
And the
little
reality is
kids,
too,
little
the
boys are
like,
looking at
the programming
as
that
role
women
models.
receive too is like, I need to give you my body for you to love me.
Same the
And so
Disney
then
and the
it's
That's what I'm
princess
saying.
and the bullshit. It's
yeah,
all
it's all connected.
it's
Which is
society.
wrong. It's wrong.
All of
Ultimately,
it.
it's wrong. You know, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening, but it's wrong. So my thing is like, yo, throw a fucking wrench in the tire now.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit right now, and let's fucking fix. Because it's obvious. You know, there's the best world-class fucking psychologist and psych fucking analyst and whatever the fuck these titles are, and they're everywhere. But we're over here like battling out like fucking slaves. You know, I feel like we're like the slaves arguing with each other, and it's like, bro, you have
Pawns
the
and peasants
owners
just-
inside like sitting drinking out of fucking gold chalice, laughing at us. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like,
That's what it
yo,
feels
no,
like.
bro, fuck these people.
The people are just angrily yelling at each other, not really talking about solutions. I think is
I feel like the
a
most
big component of it too.
fucked up thing in all of this, the most fucked up thing in all of this is that so many people's energy is already so drained by
Oh.
just what we're speaking about is that they don't even have the energy to like get into their full potential.
Yeah.
No, no
And
way.
Think
Who
about the
has time
past
to
2
think
years
about
too.
themselves and bettering themselves and their personal development and their world and their life when they're focused on the chaos. On the
Well, that's the point. That's the whole
and that's the
point.
point. It's like we're all distracted by
Yeah, they don't want
all
you.
of this shit.
They don't want us to win.
They don't want you to
fucked up.
They don't
win.
want you to win.
It's fucked up. And
no,
then,
they don't want you,
know
to go
what?
inside.
You're completely distracted. You're disconnected. You're 40 and you got a bomb ass job and you got a family and you check all you have all those things on your
Yep.
resume that you say you should be happy, but you're fucking miserable. Why?
Because you never felt, you never fucking experienced. You were all out here.
Yeah.
You were always out here
It's all in
attaining.
me. Yeah,
Oh,
literally all.
oh, I need that. I need that new laptop.
Yeah.
Yo, I need this bottle. I need to buy a bottle at the club. Yo, I need that new iPhone. I need it. I
feel
need
like
it. I need it. I
shit.
need it. And then you get it and you're like, fuck. You know
Still
what? I
feel like
need.
shit.
I need the new sneakers. Oh no, but damn no. But I need the new this. And damn nah. But if I do this, and it's like you'll never get there, motherfucker.
Nah.
If you're seeing it there,
Yeah.
you'll never get it.
No,
Sorry.
it's not there.
Unless you fucking turn that shit the fuck around and you're like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
right now, this shit is fired.
Yeah.
This shit here is already fired.
It's already
Yeah.
perfect.
It's
Which
already
is so
perfect.
crazy with all the fuck ups, all the craziness, like how they say that there's no straight lines in nature. You know what I mean? Like, if you look in nature, you look in this is chaos. This is fucking chaos. There's nothing perfect about this. But if you zoom out a little bit, it looks cool. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Yep.
it's dope, right? Everything is dope. This concrete is all fucked up. but it makes a floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of it. This is interwoven into like chaos, but it's a perfect couch. You know what I'm saying? And that's
the thing,
life.
like people aren't tapping into those small moments of like perfection or like joy, right? Perfection doesn't exist, but like of beauty. Instead, they're focused on the suffering and the misery and everything that can go wrong.
I read something. I don't know who posted it, but someone posted something about like once you do like the internal work and you find satisfaction within, like you're happy as fuck just outside in the sun, or you're happy as fuck just looking at a flower. And I think those are the moments that I have now that I'm like, okay, like I'm on to something. Like I'm literally stopping in my day and like just noticing the beauty around me. And that's some shit that I never did when I was overly consumed by all the chaos and all the conspiracy theories and all this crazy shit happening.
You were probably focused on trying to get the next thing. When you had the mentality of like, when I have this, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, I'm gonna be happy and then I'll have that.
Yeah.
And you don't even need that.
And I don't even need that.
That's the whole thing. Like it'll be cool to experience it. Hey, damn, somebody skydiving. That'll be cool.
I could want to experience it and know that it's not what's gonna lead to like
happiness. You know,
or joy.
And I think what it is that people are always like thinking that there's always something else, but it's like there's nothing else. This is it.
There's nothing.
You know what I'm saying? This is it. I'm gonna find that one piece of information. I'm gonna find the magic pill. I'm gonna find the magic workout. I'm gonna find the magic job or the one thing that I'm gonna sell is gonna make me the billionaire. There's that one thing. I just need it, bro. It's right there. It's in arm's reach. I'm gonna have it, and boom, the Big Bang happens. No, motherfucker, this is the Big Bang. Right this second. You know how crazy it is that this is happening right now?
Yeah.
What are the fucking odds that all of this is happening right now? This is fucking insane. My parents had me at 16 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like real shit.
My parents had me at 40. What the fuck am I doing?
What the fuck are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like all of this shit. What the fuck is going on? We don't know.
You were born with like one ovary.
My mom had one ovary, protection was
bro,
used,
look at that shit, bro. Come on, bro.
I should not have been born, but
it all happened. So even how people say like, oh, the wrong things, you know, we're focused on the wrong. No, there is no wrong. Because even all the wrongs make this. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. All the wrongs make it right.
Even the negatives, even the downfalls, even all of it, when you zoom out, it is perfect. So perfection does exist. Only at the top. Only all the way out. You know what I mean? If I'm in here, I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. Then you zoom out, like, oh, shit, okay, perfect. You know? It's the same thing with life. Like, oh, fuck, I'm going through it right now, bro. The bottom of the wave, damn, this shit is tough. Damn, everything is disgusting out here. Everybody's fighting. Fuck that new world order. We got a retarded president. Sorry for that term, you know, but it's, you know, mentally retarded. That's a real term, right? Like, he's old, bro. Whatever the fuck he is.
Dementia.
You know, there you go.
He's definitely got some.
The guy is fucked up. He
mental
sucks.
fitness.
His mental fitness is terrible. So, all of this, but you know what? We're still having a cool conversation, having a little drink, talking shit, getting to know, getting better. Whatever that even means.
Yeah.
But we're getting better in a sense that like now I could go home and like teach my kids like, yo, fuck. You know, I see the world a little different now. I had a conversation with two different set of eyes and set of souls or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Now I could teach my kids better that are going to be the new generation that are going to sit here and fix new problems and have new experiences and new traumas and new everything.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all a ripple effect.
And it's the perspective of it's all working for me. It's all perfect. It's all, even if you have your worst day, like it's working for me. Somehow you just have to like, I think really surrender and just trust that everything that happens is necessary.
No, it's not
it's
happening
all
to you.
necessary.
No, and
it's
just
for you.
It's just happening.
And it is just happening.
It's just
but I
happening.
like to believe that it's happening for me, and there
No,
are lessons that I
of
can learn
course.
from the bad.
Yeah.
Of
and
course.
amazing things that you can learn.
Yeah. Because
Of
with
course.
the happening to you mentality is like the victim mentality, and you're never gonna be happy.
No, hell no. But that's how most people feel.
Right.
They're on a boat, you know, on the wave, the fucking waves are going crazy, and they're like fucking flying. They're like, oh my god, why are the waves like this? It's like, what? You know?
Yeah.
What? Why the fuck did you sail today? I don't know what to tell you. Why the fuck did you take your boat out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're a fucking grain of sand in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Like, you're becoming a better fucking sailor right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's always something to get from every experience. Even
And
the
then
worst
again,
one.
like you could get swallowed up by this ocean and it doesn't fucking matter. Bye.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
You might have a little memory, you know, Bruce Lee died, and it was like a huge deal, right? Fucking Nipsey died. I remember when Nipsey died. I'm like, damn, Nipsey was the fucking man.
Yeah, man, that was
Mac
like
Miller,
Kobe, man.
Mac Miller, Kobe. Oh my God, he died. Yo, how the fucking, you know, the universe take such a great soul, and all the world is gonna be different. No, it's not at all. Sorry, it's the
like the
same.
one
That's the toughest lesson I think one of the toughest lessons I've learned when my grandma passed away. It's like, oh, life just keeps going.
Keeps going
Got it.
and
Yeah.
going and
And
going and
doesn't
going.
matter.
everyone that you know and love will die. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one promise, the
Yeah.
one guarantee that you have in this life is you enter it.
It's
the
another
second
good
you are
topic,
born, you are
death.
guaranteed to die. And it's something I know that I've certainly been working through is I had a fucking crazy fear of death. And
Death
Oh,
is
me
tough,
too.
man. Death is tough.
I still fear it, man. I had a mushroom trip that kind of like helped me. I got over it for a while.
Death for you
and
or
now I
death
still
for
feel it. No,
others?
death of me
Death of self.
dying because
Yeah.
feeling like I gotta hold it together.
course,
you know, I gotta
absolutely.
hold my little family together. So if I die, what happens? You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And I realized that I was living my life with that in the back. You know, that was controlling. That was the master controlling my life. And once I saw it, I was on mushrooms and I felt like I was having a bad trip almost. And I was like, oh fuck, what's going on? And I finally like realized like, wait, what are you scared of, bro? Ain't nobody ever died off of mushrooms. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero death count
Goose
to this
egg.
fucking day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Goose
Still.
egg.
So what are you
pretty
so
fire.
scared of, bro? And that's one thing I always remind myself of. And then I started, all right, let me feed it then. What am I scared of? This was years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm scared of fucking death. Like, why am I scared right now? Because I feel like I'm dying. Even though I know no one could die from mushrooms, I feel like I'm dying and I'm scared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sensation
So,
of it.
but wait, you know 100% you can't die.
Yeah.
So then what are you scared of? You're scared of death. Just because it feels like death.
Yeah.
But like they always say,
That's
you have
real.
to die to be reborn. You have to die to go to heaven. You know what I mean? And that day I fucking died, you know, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You die and you're like, bro, I swear to you, like once I felt it and I was like, wait, what the fuck am I so scared of? I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
So what am I scared of? And it just like all just hit me, bam, bam, bam. And I was taking a shower and the mushrooms hit me and I was like, oh fuck, this is too much. So I literally let myself sit in the fire, you know what I mean? And die within it. You know, the secret societies do this shit now, I've learned. You know, that's what initiation
This
is.
is the,
You're-
like I feel like everybody needs to try mushrooms.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
their life.
fuck yeah.
because
You need
it,
to
like,
die from that shit,
for
bro.
The most, yeah, you can't die from it. And
can't.
it's like people are so blocked emotionally, or like it's interesting. It's like they're so emotional about the external, but like internally emotional. Like when I feel like it's harder for maybe the people to connect on a personal level. Like
course.
what we're doing now, like we need as humans, like this connection, like
100%.
everything that's happening right now is like amazing
Yeah.
for our bodies
Of
and our
course.
minds and our souls. So it's like people are so distracted by that news and those emotions that they don't even have like the capacity to have emotions for other people and
course.
have this.
Yep.
And this is like, this is
This is
what we're
it.
here for.
This is
Bro,
literally
we are
it.
atoms within a body. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, this is my theory, you know? So imagine if this atom and this atom hated each other. Or like they just wouldn't
It's
even
like
fuck with each
negative.
other. And it's like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
bro, just chill and vibrate together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Life will be so much easier.
And like everything is just fire that way. You could go through struggles together. You could go through the good times together. You could go through all of it together.
Yeah.
And you pick each other up, you
it
help
makes
each other, and you all cooperate and make the one thing
Yeah.
happen. You
And
know?
it- yeah.
And it's already happening anyways.
It
So
is,
with,
yeah.
with or without this
Super
concept
cognitive.
or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
we want to try to rationalize it because it helps the human. It helps the robot that we are. It helps us cope with. We live, we wake up and like, oh, I have a sense of purpose or whatnot. Motherfucker, like you could be the biggest crackhead in the world. There's a purpose for you, bro.
Yeah.
You're serving some kind of purpose.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it is
But
because
if
I'm
you're
another
not tapped
human.
into that purpose, you're gonna probably be fucking depressed.
Oh yeah, of course. Of
You're
course.
gonna feel some type of way. If you're
And
not,
that's
like,
fine.
Don't have
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
you
that's
know?
okay too, you know?
Yeah.
We need that. We've all gone through. We've all gone
But
through the
that's another
fucking.
issue. Is like people aren't tapped into that sense of purpose because of
all the external chaos.
And because
Yeah.
we're scared, you know what I'm saying? We're so scared of like, no, everything has to be good, good, good. Which
Yeah.
that happened to me too, you know, reading all these books and all this shit, you get into like radical positivity, which is good. It's a good perspective. But what you don't realize is that you're just like, almost like putting fucking icing on a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, this piece of shit is fucking awesome. I put icing, I throw some sugar, I throw some sprinkles, and then it's still stinking the fucking place up. You know what I'm saying?
It's still shit.
So
It's still
all
shit.
that, it's still shit, bro.
Cover
I
it
don't
up
care
as
how
much as
pretty
you
that
want.
shit looks. It's a fucking piece of dog shit, you know? Until you like get down to it and you realize like, yo, look, I gotta feel it, bro. If I'm traumatized from when I was 2 years old, that God knows what the fuck happened, well, yeah, I can't just sprinkle fucking sprinkles on this shit, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta feel this shit. All right, what didn't I feel at that time? Because that's what it was, you know what I'm saying?
It really is allowing your body to process the emotions that you want.
That's all it is, man, and we run from it. We
We
run.
run because, and then it becomes this like big monster that we're just like forever running from, and then the weight
running
is
from
so
the
heavy
thing
on our
that's-
shoulder, and then it ends up like literally taking over.
I see
It's
like
crazy.
Stranger
we,
Things,
We
you know?
run from the
Crazy.
one thing that's running us.
Yeah.
Emotions are running us, and we still run from them because we have a misunderstanding of what they are, or we never really learned how to feel or what emotions are. I know I didn't.
Oh,
grew
I
up-
don't fucking know
I just
either.
think-
I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I
Yeah.
still can't cry.
Yeah.
I still can't cry. And I've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah,
or
I feel
6
like ever
years.
since I've known you, you've been trying to cry.
I've been trying to cry, bro. Like, fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Child meditation is what I wanna say.
I've done breath works. I would love to do it, and I've done a
you
bunch.
gotta do that.
I want to do one with somebody in real life.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
done
yeah.
that.
You gotta
Like
do
to
that.
cry. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna set this up after all this. But like, I try, bro, and
Do you
I get
remember the last
deep.
time you cried?
No, I'll cry. Like, my cousin passed away like 2 years ago. I remember I cried, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But I still, like, I remember there was one situation that I like laid in bed, like, and I started crying because I was writing a journal. So I was able to, back then I was doing like a journal every day and shit. So I was able to like let it all out. This was like the day of like the funeral or whatnot. And I still like was holding it together. I couldn't cry, whatever. Like, I'm here thinking about my whole family.
Yeah, you're trying to be strong.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
shit,
You're trying to
man.
like, oh no, like my cousin was like, you know, a really strong part of the family. So then I'm like, all right, now I got to step up.
Yeah, of
You know what I'm saying?
course.
Now it's me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was the little cousin. All right, now no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's like, all right. But then I get home and I'm like writing the journal, and I was like, I started crying, and my girl was like, oh, you know, whatever, trying to comfort me. But I needed that shit. But I know that there's, I mean, that was for one instance. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably shit built up inside of me from, but growing up, it's like tough guy shit. Oh no, as a man, you know, this is what it is. This is what you got to do, and that's cool too. But you got to tap into the other part. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to be able to at least access it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I'm in a place like, yo, I'm trying to access it, bro. I know I got to let some shit out, and I don't even know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough, man. It's fucked up. So I could imagine, and this is somebody that tries very hard to tap into
yeah.
every emotion and experience everything.
You try.
I can't imagine the
You
people
try.
that don't fucking try shit. Like,
Oh,
bro, you don't
yeah.
even know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, those people are just
That's what I think about too. Like
to
I'm,
not think about it.
No,
I would
of
assume,
course.
I feel like the same. Like I feel like I try so hard to like better myself and do the mindset work and like the emotional piece and like really like feel what I'm. And it's so hard for me because of X, Y, Z. Doesn't matter. But I'm actually putting in an effort. So like what do
How's it
other
going
like?
down forever?
But
What
then
is
we're
everyone else's
chasing it.
experience?
But then we're chasing it.
That's fair.
So what you're chasing, you know what I'm saying? If you're chasing something is running from you, you can't have it. So if I'm chasing experiencing emotions, then I'm not experiencing emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
It's just- it's just-
experiencing emotions is here.
Yeah.
It's not here. And I could say this logically and rationally. And I know this for every other instance. You know
Well,
what
at
I'm
the end
saying?
of the day, you're not really, unless you're talking about chasing the emotion, but like if you're actually in the practice
No,
of feeling
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
emotions, you're in it.
That's what I mean. Like just trying to do more.
Yeah,
of
it's like
that.
you're whatever, like, oh, I'm feeling angry. Let me feel into this anger right now. Like, what's coming up for me? What is it that's making me angry?
How am
And
I
then
feeling
you
it in
just-
my
That's
body?
so hard
I've
because
never-
then you feel it and you're like, nah, fuck that. And you
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
Or you dip or you distract yourself.
Distract, yeah.
Or whatever. But then it's like, I think what the goal here is like, yes, you chase it until you exhaust yourself to a point that you just collapse. Boom.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, wait, it's not. I'm not. There was nothing I was chasing. I wasn't chasing
Yeah.
anything. It was
Yeah.
this was a figment of my imagination. I am it already. You know what I mean? But you have to get to a point of exhaustion, which is like with enlightenment. When you ask yourself, who am I? And we've gone all over the place here. But the more you keep asking yourself, you're like, bro, what do you mean, who am I? You know? I remember when I first started doing it, I've been doing this shit for like a year and a half already. And I still haven't exhausted myself yet completely.
Yeah.
But I have gotten to points that I like pass out and I wake up, I'm like, wait, you know, I keep running. I want to get to a place where I just fucking die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. Like I realized that I was chasing all of these things for no reason. Once you exhaust yourself and you just die in this shit, it's like
surrender.
the DMT.
Once you
It's
surrender, it's
That's
surrender.
all it is.
Once you surrender, it's
That's it.
Yeah.
it's when you break through.
It's like it's what you're reminding me of is like control versus surrender.
That's it.
It's like we're all trying to control the outcome of every situation and like okay, I want to make sure that I instill this in my child and I want to control the people that my child is exposed to, but like we cannot control
Can't control it all.
Nope.
most of it.
I think that's
And it's like
ultimately
surrendering to like, well, all I can really focus on is my output, how I show up. That's literally it, and
Yep.
everything else will happen as it's supposed to.
Would you say most people suffer with control?
Issues, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Most.
I would say
Majority.
so.
Yeah.
I think people
like-
have a true issue, especially, oh my God, the way that the world is now is like, it's a mirror for people. Like, hey, you're not in control, right? And then people are like fighting to be in control.
Yeah, it's
So
like that's the root of it, really. I mean, there's
It's
there's
like
factors,
there's
but-
control, and then there's also like I think at the root like it's like
Emotions.
fear, love,
yeah.
like
And I
whatever
think there's an
whatever guides you,
illusion of
and then-
control too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like we think we're in control
We're
of so
not in
many
control of
things,
anything.
so it gives you like this false sense of control,
yeah,
and
it's
you're like, nah,
false.
but what do you mean? I told myself I was gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and I did wake up at 6 a.m. So I am in control. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
are you? Who's you?
You're not. You're not.
Who is you?
I like to think,
Like what?
And
So
but even
you
the-
are the guy that thought I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. Right? You're the mind then. You're the one that
you're the
thought
awareness.
that. But when you meditate and you look at these thoughts that you don't choose just passes by, and you're
Pass
like,
on by.
nah, fuck, that's not me.
Yeah.
But then the one that told you to wake up at 6 a.m. was you.
you.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So it's like, who the fuck were you, bro? You were none of them. You ain't shit. You know, you're just a body happening. And I don't have the answer. You know what I'm saying? But you think, you know, and I know my wife has a big problem with this, like control, and she's fucking great at it. She's great at like,
It feels good to be
You know?
able to control things and get shit done and get things in order.
But it's
Until
not really
realize,
you,
until you get
you
to
know?
that thing you
It's not.
can't control
I think
and then you go fucking nuts.
yeah.
because you can't.
Because that one thing that you thought, all these illusions of control, like, me, this person, this avatar is doing this. And then that one thing that you're like,
Ego.
wait, but I can't fucking do this. I can't do it.
Then you
And
think
it
there's
just
something wrong with you.
collapses the avatar, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's like, you don't need to, bro. You
That's-
weren't, even the ones that you thought you were controlling, that wasn't you,
not.
bro.
Yeah.
So have fun. You know what
And
I'm
it's
saying?
kind of fucked up how the illusion of control actually leads. I feel like there's a sense of like when we are in control, we're getting shit done, right? And that helps us feel productive and it helps us feel worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not in control or if we are putting all of our effort and the result isn't showing up, what's wrong with us? And that's the issue is like, oh shit, I can't actually control the situation. Is there something wrong with me? And so that internal blame starts and that guilt of like, what did I do wrong? And so many humans naturally gravitate towards that thinking of like, oh, it's something with me.
Yeah.
It's something
It's a
I
story.
fucked up.
We just create the story.
I think what helped me with control was like learning about the nervous system and how you're literally not in fucking control. Your nervous system, you have no control over it. It's constantly scanning danger and safety 24/7, and you have
We are
thoughts that
a
accumulate because of that. You're a fucking computer.
It goes back to like the sexual subliminal programming. Like, we think we're in this control, but we're looking at a fucking vending machine and it's making something, another avatar, a drawing another avatar put within this vending machine just made you buy that thing that you convince yourself like, no, I'm thirsty and I want this drink.
You're in control. You
So
said-
I'm in control.
Yeah.
But you don't know you only bought that because another fucking dickhead put a picture
Yeah.
in the, you know, and it's like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
There's no fucking answer to none of this shit,
I
man.
think that's
And we're-
really what it is.
You know
and
what I'm saying?
that goes back to each team wanting to win. It's like, I don't know that there's a winning. I don't think that there's like an actual like win. It's more of like, how can we come together and like just live as cohesively and
And
Or
I think-
is it anything?
right?
You know, is it any effort?
maybe
Do we
not.
need any effort? We don't need anything.
Maybe not.
Because then it's like, damn, even that is trying something. You know
It
what I'm
is.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even that is
I
like,
feel
no,
you.
we're trying
so
to
no
unite.
effort, more
Yeah.
like release of what's been done. Like
Release of the illusion. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dissolved.
It's just how it's.
I think that's what it really is, dissolved. Like instead
How
of
do you
trying
dissolve
to stack,
on a mass scale, though?
We're trying to stack. We're trying to stack new information. Stack, accumulate people with us to agree with us, and we're trying to stack all these things. But it's like, no, you're not. You're actually going the wrong way. Which there is no wrong way.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, you
the
should just
right way
melt into
is
this
like,
shit, you know?
Yeah, we're all
Just
one,
fucking be,
right?
like-
That's
But we're
right?
one anyways, whether you want it to be or not. You could be the one person. Everybody could be over there being one, and you're like, fuck all those people over there. You're still part of that one.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I'm
still
saying?
part of this world.
You're
Part of being
still
a human.
it.
You're still in this
You're the only
reality.
one suffering though,
Oof. Yeah.
from not wanting to be them.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think of New World Order. So when it comes to New World Order, I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers got a point. You know what I'm saying? They want to unite us all. Great. But then it's like, well, you got to take from us. Now, we just tend to be more privileged because we were born in fucking America. Thank God, but when it comes to the earth, at least what they show us, if it really is what they're showing us, this globe, we're the little speck over here. What about all these people that are suffering? China? They tried to protest the other day and they got shut down because their fucking digital vaccine, whatever, the government said, fuck you guys. They're suffering over there because they're completely in control, right? In control of. Africa can't eat, in certain parts, right? Everywhere, South America is doing bad. Everyone's doing bad. And we're over here like, fuck it, Hey, I don't want this. I'll toss it out the window. Oh, whatever. I throw away food all day. We throw away toys. And bro, people in Africa will be like, "What the fuck? You just what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm starving."
Yeah.
So now, if you own this earth, what would you think? You're gonna be like, "Fuck these people, bro.
Yeah.
We need to unite all of these people." And the only way, unfortunately, is to grab from these guys and spread it, disperse it all over the earth. You know what I mean? And that's what it seems like is happening. And we're like, "Fuck you guys." I don't agree with it still. This human still thinks like, "No, fuck you guys." Because how about you just build the system that we have?
Yeah.
Put it all over the place and it'll probably work out, right? Maybe not. Maybe there's something I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, should we fight the New World Order? And
How
United
do you
Nations,
fight the
Agenda
New World
2030 and and whatever, World Economic Forum and Great Reset. Do we fight it? And sit there and fight until we collapse and we exhaust ourselves? Or do we say, hey, fuck all this
I
shit,
think
bro?
we're too far behind too. Like I think these people.
Well, that's just true.
If
Like the agenda?
Yeah.
The agenda is true for sure.
Yeah.
Because they say it. It's
Yeah.
not like.
So like these.
Now we don't know, but there's a method to all madness.
It's just.
They have it justified. They know why they want it. You know what I'm saying? Now we don't understand it. The same way the right is looking at the left of the people that want abortion, they don't understand it. They don't understand why these people don't want it.
Yeah.
Nobody understands each other.
Yeah.
So the same way we're fighting New World Order because we don't understand why they want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're
But
like-
they don't understand why we don't want it
Right.
either. You know what I mean? So it's like, what to do?
Yeah, and it's also how do you fight? Like you're saying, fighting. Do you fight the New World? How do you fight people that are millions of steps ahead of you? Like,
No, you can't.
it just doesn't.
That's like a child trying to
don't
fight the best jujitsu fighter of all time. It's like,
It's more. Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? You're
Yeah.
stressing yourself out, bro.
It's not even.
Tap out.
It's not even worth it. I feel like I was in the camp where like, yeah, fuck all this shit. We're gonna fight and we're gonna hold our ground and like fuck all these evil people, and all I did was exhaust my fucking energy, and I was angry and fucking depressed and
Yeah, non-negativity.
didn't serve me in any way, shape, or form. Whereas now my mentality is just like,
Yeah.
fuck it. What can I do? All I can do is be as much in control of this fucking avatar as I can. Promote love, show love my people, be there for my people, and try to have a fucking good time while I'm here. But to
Have fun, man. That's what I think. It's like just chill
have fun.
and have fun. Those are my like, two quotes.
It could
Just
be
chill
it could
and
be
have
that
fun.
simple. It really could.
Like,
Cause you can have fun in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like there's motherfuckers having fun right now in prison.
But yeah.
There's people having fun in Cuba.
Yeah. In the worst of
and
situations.
I feel like would we all as a whole feel happier and more fulfilled if we were just trying to achieve more happiness, like more joy on our day to day, more
Oh, for
presence.
sure.
Like
For
if
sure.
we were just trying to,
Sure.
like, how can I make today great? No matter how that looks like, right? Like I don't need to get that Rolls Royce
Yeah.
to be happy.
Yeah.
Like
Just as I am.
No
No,
matter
where
sometimes
am,
I
as
gotta
am
go
now.
through, like, it has to rain.
Oh my God.
No rain, no
Lord.
rainbow.
Yeah.
It has to rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to us,
think
it's
that's what
pouring outside, and we're like, fuck, it's raining. I just got fucking soaked, all my shoes just got fuck. And then in like Saudi Arabia, they're like, yes, it's raining.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. You know, thank God it's
and
fucking
our,
raining.
trees and our grass are really fucking grateful it's raining. I'm sure.
Of
'cause they
course.
need the water.
But you know what I'm
So
saying?
then it's
Just
like our
perspective
ecosystem.
still.
Yeah, it's like
So it's a perspective of where, you know, these set of eyes are perceiving this, you know?
where what is it? Where attention
Goes,
Those energy flows, yeah.
Sure.
And I think we're just all fucked up. I think it's just hard, and it's not our fault.
No. it's
This
nobody's
is in our
fault.
DNA. This is the way we are. You know what I'm saying? So then
Yeah.
I think when people start hearing these type of things, then they're like, oh fuck, I'm fucked up then. Like you said earlier. Like, no, I'm fucked up. I'm doing something right now. I gotta get like what these people are trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's wrong too.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen, bro. It's we deal with this shit, bro. I could talk all this shit I want.
Yeah, but we still.
I still
through
go
it.
home and my
Go
girl
through
tells me something out of line. I'm like, bro, fuck, bro. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying? I still
Still
get
struggle
mad
with
at
all the
things.
shit.
Somebody cuts me off, I still get fucking pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's the intention in like trying.
and just
like,
catching
being
yourself and
awareness
just
and,
be
like,
like, bro,
yeah.
oh fuck, I'm an idiot. You know
Like
what I'm
that's
saying?
you're
Like
already
that.
one step ahead. I think it's
but just having the awareness
Just the awareness.
can create the awareness and like the acceptance, right, can create such a better bounce back rate.
Yeah.
Whereas like maybe you got cut off in traffic before and would stay mad for like an
Exactly.
hour,
Yeah.
and now it's like you're pissed for 5 minutes. And you're
bounce
an
back
hour.
rate. Yeah.
So I try to see it like your life. You know, if you zoom out of your life, let's say we have 100 years. You know, how much, if this is 100 years, how much of that 100 years was I pissed off? How much of that was I irritated? Was I confused? Was I,
waste.
you know, negative? And,
not a
and
waste,
negative
you
and
have to feel
positive
what
is
you need to
just,
feel.
Yeah.
you have to feel it.
It's necessary.
Which is part of the experience. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's all part of
Why
it.
the fuck does my wife like to watch sad movies? I don't fucking know. I walk in, she's bawling, crying, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You've seen this movie 100 times. Why are you still watching this? And she is literally torturing herself. She's putting herself in the fire.
It's the feels. It's to
But-
be able to feel.
It's a cool feeling, I guess, you know, to some people. Me, I don't know how to fucking cry and shit. I'm like, I wish, you know. But I guess that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're experiencing full spectrum.
Yeah.
And I think most of us are scared of that. We're living in this right here. We're like, nah, I can't feel discomfort.
scared of-
I can't, like, nah. I don't want to feel uncomfortability. So then you just never work out. You'll never, like,
Never do anything.
do anything. And it's like, all right, so then you're not going to feel all of
There's
it.
like false belief that like if you spend some time like on the, if you spend some of your time on this or all, if you accept the full spectrum of emotions, that you're somehow going to get sucked into the negative and like stay there and like get stuck. And I do think that people do like allow themselves to get caught up in that. I think that's the issue. Is that like it almost gets too comfortable and then it becomes like habitual, and then you're just like letting your emotion run you for much longer than it needed to, because the reality is maybe you just needed to like deal with it for like 5 minutes, like shake your body, like do whatever you need to do, punch a
Yeah.
pillow, scream, like I don't give a fuck what you do, but do it, process it 5 minutes, and then like move on, because realistically you feel an emotion in your body for 90 seconds. So anything beyond that that you're experiencing is a mental story. So at what point are you like, yeah, you know what, that was upsetting, but I'm gonna choose to move on with my day.
Yeah.
Versus like let it consume you and take over the rest of your day, your days, or for some people it lasts, you know,
Yeah,
like
that's something I struggled with a lot.
weeks.
Getting like something ticking me off, and it just like the whole day, just like in that mood.
And so I think it's a matter of like, okay, how can we show people to like pull themselves out of that? Because
Bro, you should
It's
seek-
awareness. It really is. It's
I think it's seeking discomfort. Because if
that too.
so, then the people that realize it, like you're saying, okay, that's uncomfortable. Let me sit in it. Now you become comfortable with it, and now you just stay in it because
Yeah.
you're comfortable now.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So now you need to
It's
seek
more
another discomfort.
another discomfort.
Yeah.
And if you keep being comfortable, all right, well, keep jumping, bro.
Yeah,
Keep-
that
keep
momentum either
finding-
way is gonna
Point,
it's
yeah,
gonna
like,
keep you
continue
there.
to seek the discomfort.
Yeah.
And I think that's still like none of this that we're saying even matters. But if you want to live like a somewhat of a overall happy or healthy or whatever word you want to attach to it, life, then I guess that's what it is, right? Being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and then being uncomfortable being comfortable.
Yeah.
Like it's the paradox of life, man. This shit is just fucking wild.
It
More
is. Life is
interesting,
fucking
it's like we
nuts.
get too comfortable and then we're mad because we're too comfortable. And we
Yeah.
get too uncomfortable and we get mad because we're too uncomfortable. It's
Yeah.
like,
Not fucked
And
up.
ultimately, what's happening is that your brain is just trying to protect you and keep you safe the whole time.
Survive.
Yeah, and just stay
Survive
going.
and reproduce. That's it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
we're back at this point.
Yeah, we're back to like
Back to abortion.
Roe v. Wade. You know? But yeah, man, I think that's what it is. Like we're just like trying to survive in this motherfucker, and some people have a bad sense of survival. You know.
Yeah.
Some people, and it's natural selection.
Yeah, and you don't when you're surviving. Like I think it goes back to them not wanting us to thrive and not wanting us to. We've talked about this before. When you have money, you're afforded more time to think. You're
Oh, yeah.
afforded more time to dream, more time to create. And most of us are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not creating, you're not dreaming, you're not thinking these big ideas. You're
No.
trying to fucking survive. And I think that's where a lot of people find themselves. In that state of just constant survival or just constant fight or flight. And as
Until
we
you
know, that wreaks
surrender.
havoc on the nervous system. That wreaks havoc on your physical body. It literally is disease. Your body is at not the opposite of
Flowing.
ease.
Yeah. Yeah, and then our society reinforces that because when you're doing, and when you're a productive human being, you
Right.
get rewarded, and like achievements feel good. Like, oh, I got that diploma, I got that like everything is meant to like, you know, wanting you to achieve. When in reality, it's like actually where you're really gonna find. If you're always trying to achieve that thing,
Yeah.
the true happiness is just in your beingness and
Yeah.
like.
You'll never get enough of it.
But
I
then if
remember.
you're always being,
But you
then-
can't always be being.
so
You
that's
can't
the
always
whole
be
thing.
being.
You can't always be
So it's
being.
like if
But
you're
that's the
always
thing is
trying
that-
to find something,
Yeah.
if you stop trying, boom, it's the big bang. But if you're never trying to find something,
You're never gonna see
then when you do go for something, it's the big bang.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're never going to get it, bro. We'll
Yeah.
never touch it. We're here trying to like, boom, I got it. Damn, that was a piece. That was a magic pill. I got it. I found it.
Yeah. When you already
It's
have
never
it.
gonna happen.
You already have it.
So
Yeah, but I
then
do
once you
think that-
accept it,
yeah,
I think
creating-
that's where it is. Like, there is no magic pill.
No,
Like,
you are the fucking magic.
there
pill,
is
bro.
no reaching. There's no
Yeah,
grabbing.
it's all
There's
here.
no
It's just like be
It's
still.
here. It's here.
Like be still.
be still.
Yeah, it's the it reminds me of that J. Cole interview where he was talking about like if you put your importance on money, you're never gonna have enough of it. If you put your importance on women, you're never gonna have enough of it. But if you put your importance on love, every single one of us, for the most part, obviously there are extenuating circumstances that people don't have love in their life, but majority of us have enough love in our life right now today to like be grateful for and operate off of that and
But
use
now,
that
would
as
you even know
happiness.
that? You know what I'm saying? Because you can have all the love you want, you probably won't even see it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You probably would be like, it's still not enough. You know what I mean?
That's
And that's the thing.
And
Like,
that's
it is
also
what it
the whole
is.
like people are blocked from receiving
yeah.
the love. So like the love could be there, or maybe it could also be a factor of like, and this is something I think about all the time. Is like not all the time, but I thought about a lot. Is like I feel like people tend to love the way that they want to be loved, and not
Of course.
necessarily the way that that person
Of
would
course.
best receive love.
Yep.
So then you're focused on like you're giving them all not all the wrong things, but you're giving them all the things that you would want. It's coming from a very like selfish, and you don't really view it that way. It's not intentionally
Oh,
selfish.
yeah,
It's just
no.
the only way you know how, and it's so interesting.
That's fire.
I'm trying to remember what you said that triggered me to say that.
About it not being enough. Like if you're placing your importance on material shit, that it's never gonna be enough. That's pretty much what I'm saying. But if you put your importance on love, you have enough of that right now.
It's
Operate
such an
off of-
interesting thing how we are always trying to change the other person.
Hmm.
Like, we're never trying to just like water the flower. We're trying to make the flower us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to water this sunflower the way a rose should be, watered.
Yeah.
Because I'm a rose and
Yeah.
you're a sunflower, but like, I'm trying to water you the way I know how to be watered. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I know
yeah.
how my thirst is quenched, so that's how I'm gonna. But like, No, I'm a cactus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you tripping, bro. You're overwatering me right now, bro.
Yeah. You're smothering me.
There's too much, you know?
And maybe that needs to be part of the communication.
Teach
amongst
me how to love
partners, is
you,
like
yeah.
what, how, and I don't think that I don't know if these conversations are happening enough. It's like, and I don't even know if people would know how to answer it. It's like, how do you feel like you would want to be loved? Like, and I think like the 5 love languages thing helps a lot.
I used to think that shit was so bullshit, and now I'm like, yo,
it's real deal.
now I see it with my daughter. My wife told me one day, like, yo, her love language is like gifts.
Yeah.
And mine is like touch. And I'm like, yo, like lately I've been seeing it, and I'm like, yo, my daughter, I'll go to like Walgreens. She's like, Daddy, can you get me something right away? And automatically as a parent, I'm like, no, bro, you shouldn't always expect a thing, because I'm against, or I'm trying to raise her in a sense that like we detach from the material, stimulation or whatnot. But then it's like, that's her love language, bro. I could go and bring her a fucking, literally an ant. I'm not even fucking with you, and she'll be ecstatic, bro. It's so crazy.
That's like the way that she receives, that you were thinking of her and that you love her.
Yo, it's fucking mind blowing, because my girl will come and like just give me a hug, and it's like everything dissolves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so weird, because I thought it was fucking complete bullshit. I'm like, fuck all that.
I thought it was bullshit for a while too.
Oh yeah, that shit's legit.
There's definitely a lot of truth to it.
Yeah, there's
but
definitely.
I wish we all like could, again, learn more about ourselves as we're growing up, so that we know like what
That's
are the
where it
ways
starts,
we want to
man.
be loved,
It starts
so
with the
that we
kids.
can ask for that in our partnerships. Because then the fucked up part of it all is then we expect that person to meet all of our needs and love us the way that we want to be loved, when we didn't even fucking tell them how
They
we
will
wanna
never
be
know.
loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You're
They would never
expecting.
know.
How are you expecting some shit
Mind
you never
reader?
even?
No, it's
Like, you're
so
supposed to
stupid.
like read my mind and feel into my body and know what I need.
chill.
Like, bitch, you barely know what you need. No
Yeah.
offense. Like,
Yeah,
you're
facts.
still trying to figure out what you need, and
Of
you're
course.
gonna be able to figure out what I need, a whole other human being.
No, we literally don't know what we need.
No,
You know
we
what I'm
don't.
saying?
That's the
We don't
whole
even. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Conundrum of life. is
There's
trying to
days
figure
that
it
I think
out.
I know, but there's days I'm like, I don't know shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, fuck.
But I think
man.
it goes back to the kids. I think it all starts with kids, and like how kids are developing and what they're being exposed to at a young age, and learning about emotions and learning about having these conversations, and what would it look like then?
But then what happens, right? So if the earth is a thing just equally balancing, dancing with itself, like pretty much, whack-a-mole. If this is the thing, that one thing pops up here, I smash that, it's gonna pop up here, That's how I like to see, the body of God, right?
Okay.
Us, earth, whatever you want to call it. It's like pull and push and pull, what happens if everybody's just happy all the time?
Yeah. I
There would
don't
probably be
think that's the
mass fucking genocide.
Yeah,
you
no,
know
I
what
don't think
mean?
that's the intention either.
There would have to
There
be.
has to be a balance.
You know what I mean? Because like
I
that's.
don't think sadness and anger and these negative emotions are actually negative.
But ultimately, isn't that what we're all chasing? Isn't that what
It
we're
is.
doing this for? We're talking to these people,
Yeah.
trying to help people
to
be
be
happier
honest.
and
Yeah.
be better. To deal with shit better and all these things better, good.
Yeah. Just have
Happy,
a-
whatever. All these,
Yeah.
positive things. But then it's like, but then what? You know what I'm saying? Then what happens? You know what I'm saying? Like America's great. But it takes a whole lot of fucking genocide and fucking starvation and all kind of crazy shit, I would assume, on the other side of the earth for America to happen. You feel me? So is it almost selfish for us to be this way? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Where is the pull on this
That's-
push,
that's fair. Yeah, but I don't have control over anything besides.
No, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we can get as deep and like get in our heads about it, but at the end of the day, it's like
Have
the
fun.
way that I think about it. I'm like, I can only control me, and I'm gonna give back to this world however
Word.
Yeah.
like I can,
Yeah.
and give back to the collective and live from a place of love.
Yeah.
And
And I think that
literally
is
try
good
to
for the
help
collective.
kids to have what I didn't have,
Yeah.
Word.
and to make that future generation better. Like,
So it's
or
all
not
just-
better, or just like more informed.
Just
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
Just-
I don't like the word better too. Like
Evolve.
it's what is better.
I think
it's just
More.
just more.
Or further,
Yeah, like,
maybe it's just
evolution. It's just evolution.
Yeah.
But it's closer to death. You know what I'm saying? Because even ultimate evolution is just taking us closer to death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
What is ultimate evolution is Wall-E. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it gets even further than that, but ultimately it leads up to death. It leads up to horribleness. You know what I mean? And then being dirt poor, being in
So
a,
horribleness, like what death is horribleness?
no, like evolution, right? So let's say we've come to the conclusion that it's all evolution. If it's all evolution, then we get to a point of complete AI, technological takeover and all this shit. It's terrible, right? For people like us.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
But then to like people like
But
Elon
then
or
it's
whatever,
like,
it's
yeah,
great,
it's like,
right?
oh, I get to live forever.
Yeah, cool, but I wouldn't want to personally.
Yeah.
But then if you talk to a person from a tribe, you know, it's like, y'all motherfuckers don't have a fucking, you can't control your fucking temperature of your, you know what I mean? You can't like call somebody over the phone. You can't, you know, microwave food. You can't do that. That's horrible. I would never want to experience that.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're a fucking dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
we have the best relationships ever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, it's relative almost. So it's
is,
like,
it is.
even the things that we're chasing still end at death. But then what they're chasing, even as a tribe, you know, they're like, yeah, well, we got like hunting animals, but we could die at any fucking moment.
Oh, yeah.
We have lower lifespans and all these things. So it's like ultimately either way direction you
people
go
are like,
just
yeah.
goes towards death, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, just die.
It's hard to make
motherfucker.
sense of shit when you don't really have like, all the answers.
There's
And we'll
no-
never have.
And
There's
it's
no
what
question.
came up for me as you were saying that, which is like kind of not on the same, but kind of, is like I feel like humans, what fucks us up a lot is like this mentality of like more. Like I want more, I want more, and that's what gets in the way. It's a barrier to enjoying what is.
Yeah.
It's like always wanting that more.
Yeah.
Like I just like in saying that AI thing, like yeah, I could live, like I could live for the rest of my life. It's like yeah, you say that to someone and they're like, yeah, I just want to be able to live forever so that I have an unlimited amount of time. And it's like, yeah, you give someone that more, they're never gonna be satisfied
No,
in the
of
now.
course not.
or
But
whatever they have.
more time to what?
I don't even know.
If you're not living, if you never lived, you want more what?
Yeah.
That won't be, yeah. It would take away from what life is and what living is.
Like you want
If you don't
more
die.
of this.
If you don't die, then what is living? Are you
Exactly.
living?
But you've never lived. You never lived because you're chasing not
Exactly.
dying.
Yeah.
You're so scared of dying that you never lived.
Yep.